Hi, families. Today we're going to walk through how to limit specific website content and set restrictions for your child's iPad, including downtime and content filtering. Let's get started. We're going to start by blocking specific websites. In this case, we'll just use the example of YouTube. You're going to tap on Settings from the home screen, and you're going to scroll down to Screen Time. Next, you'll click Content and Privacy Restrictions. Then you're going to toggle Content and Privacy Restrictions to On if it is not already. So you're going to click on Store, Web, Siri, and Game Center Content. Now here, you can make all sorts of changes to restrict the level of content that comes through. You can restrict explicit content for music videos, TV shows, books, apps, etc. And you can set each of those to your preferences. Next, for this purpose, we're going to be limiting YouTube. And here we want to click on Web Content. And here we are given the option to limit adult websites. You're going to click that. Now, YouTube is not necessarily considered an adult website, but for our purposes, we are going to consider it as such. And here, under Never Allow, is where we're going to add a website. I'm going to click that, and here I'll enter youtube.com. And then, just to be safe, another iteration of YouTube is youtu.be. We're going to add that as well. You can do this for other websites. We're going to stick with just YouTube for this demonstration. But if you wanted to add additional websites, you would put in those URLs like we just did for YouTube. If a child tries to navigate to YouTube, they get this error message. If for some reason, while your child is at home and wants to access that particular website, you would just click Allow Website, and then it would ask you to enter a passcode. And we're going to show how to do that later. Next, we want to set up a time limit for when your child can use their iPad. We're going to restrict usage between 9:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. So we're going to go back to Screen Time, Settings, clicking Screen Time, and now we're going to tap Downtime. And here is where we want to set a schedule. So we're going to toggle Scheduled to On. We're going to click Every Day, or if you want to customize certain days and have them different from Monday through Friday, different on the weekends, that's completely up to you and your family. And in this case, we're going to set it for every day between 9:30 and 7:30, where the iPad will be rendered useless. I'm going to click Time, and I'm going to change this from to 9:30. So 9:30 p.m. to 7:30. Oh, nope, 7 a.m. is what we said. So now we are set to have downtime on this iPad between 9:30 and 7 a.m. If the child attempts to access it during these downtime times, it'll be required to enter a passcode. One optional setting that you can set up is to set app limits. So for specific categories like social media or games. And here's how to do that. In the Screen Time menu, tap App Limits. So we're going to go to the menu, App Limits, and we're going to add a limit. And in this case, let's say social media. We want to restrict the amount of time that our child can access social media. I'm going to select that. I'm going to click Next, and I'm going to set the time that this iPad is allowed to access social media. For this case, let's say an hour a day. I can add that as a restriction, and now social media sites and and apps will be limited to 1 hour every day. You can set that up for your family's time frame, however works best for you. Now, to configure a passcode, this will be necessary. A passcode is necessary to make sure you are the only person that is able to change these screen time settings. So in screen time, from the main menu, you're going to scroll down to lock screen time settings. And here is where you're going to choose a passcode that works for you. One that is going to be easy for you to remember, but hard for others to guess. Do not use typical passcodes that are known to others around you. Also, do not use passcodes that could be easily guessed, such as birthdays or 0000 or 1234. Now, it is important to remember this passcode, as once it's set, we cannot retrieve it for you. For purposes of this demo, I'm going to set 0000 as our passcode. And it's going to ask me to re-enter it to confirm. And now it is also going to ask me to enter my Apple ID for this. Now this is important in that if you do forget the passcode, you will be able to unlock it using your Apple ID. You can choose to forego this step, but we will not be able to retrieve that passcode if you forget it and you do not have an Apple ID associated with it. So here is where you would enter your Apple ID information and attach it to your setup. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm skipping. I recommend that you do not skip this part. So now, there is a passcode set, there is a time limit set, and YouTube is not allowed. So let's go back to our main screen and show if the child navigates to YouTube, they're not allowed to use it. So I'm going to, if for whatever reason your child needs to access YouTube, maybe for a school assignment, or you're allowing them to access it, you're going to take your child's iPad, click Allow Website, and then it's going to ask you for your passcode. And here is where you would put that in, and that would unlock it. Again, be careful about folks being able to see what you're entering for your passcode, because once that passcode is known, users will be able to enter that to unlock any restrictions and change those in settings. So keep that passcode hidden, and one that is, again, easy for you to remember, but hard for others to guess. And that's it. We've successfully blocked websites, we've set downtime, and secured everything with a passcode. With these settings, you can ensure that your child's iPad usage is limited and age appropriate. For more tips like this, you can visit the Apple Support website or contact me at mccanmic@spsdme.org. I will suggest that you consider reviewing content restrictions regularly. You can adjust the settings for apps, music, books, and more under content restrictions and screen time.